So how's everybody doing? How was your weekend?
It was good. St. Patty's Day weekend's always a fun one for me.
Must be nice, man. Must be nice.
It was
I just
nice.
recorded a lot of videos. I know Josh had some fun though.
I
Well,
also
video
recorded a lot of
recording's fun.
videos. St. Patrick's Day, man, it's a holiday that I really enjoyed when I was in university. But now that I'm older and like drinking involves going to bars and not just going to like keggers down the street, it's something that I can't necessarily get behind every time because I kind of hate everybody. I don't know if that's okay to say, but
No, it definitely makes sense. There's a crowd that kind of is a big part of St. Patrick's Day, and those are just like even scummier people than I am.
yeah, it's woo guys, man.
Yeah, it's the guys who like fist pumping in like the air and carrying on and everything like that, and that was cool, in college and everything. But I mean, I still like going out because I mean, I just like spending time with the people that I enjoy hanging out with.
Aww.
And it just happened to be on St. Patrick's Day, and so me and my roommates, we went out and we had a good time, and then we came back, and then
Yeah.
it was just like another weekend, except there was just even more people out and wearing a lot more green.
You're just not into the whole bro culture, I guess.
Exactly. Like,
Not so much anymore, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on the Sky Train, and when I mentioned the Sky Train, everyone was like, "Whoa, what kind of public transit do they have in Canada?" It's like it's just an above ground subway, basically, in Canada, and or in Vancouver, I should say. There were people like this guy had like a mohawk, and he was dishing out shots from like a mixed Rockstar Plus vodka can on the subway. And I was like, "Dude, you're trying way too hard to get this party started." In like the least efficient way possible. Yeah, it's like it's not only classy, but it's like a G-rated form of unclassiness because that's not even gonna get you drunk, man. You have to literally take a shot of every piece of liquid, every molecule of alcohol in that can to get any sort of buzz at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Maybe
instead
it's just
of
a novelty.
yeah, I guess that was it. But he clearly thought he was super hardcore based on his hairstyle.
Oh.
Oh god.
In any case. Welcome everybody to the Northernlion Live Super Show, where I am very frank about my complete misanthropic nature.
For Halloween, it should always just be catacombs in Downwell.
Sounds good to me.
So spooky.
I thought I couldn't love Halloween any more than I already did, but you have proven that wrong.
Yep. It's so spooky on Halloween.
I'm gonna be real with you. You know, if you like Halloween, that's super cool. Don't let me rain on your parade.
I do.
Halloween is like my least favorite time of the year. No, that's not true. St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is 100 times worse.
Alright.
Because, like, Halloween is like kids coming out and they're like trick or treat, they're excited, that's cool. Real world hasn't, drilled all their enthusiasm out of them yet and left them a hollowed out husk. They're still like,
Yeah, that'll
they
happen
realize
soon.
candy is like the universal good. But,
Universal solvent.
exactly. Much like the other thing we were talking about that
Yep.
my sausage, yeah.
Sausage candy.
But St. Patrick's Day is 100 times worse because it's just people like publicly vomiting all over the
yeah.
place. Yeah, give me the happy kids instead of the people throwing up everywhere. I'm not saying I haven't thrown up on my own fair share of St. Patrick's Days. I'm just saying I now I don't like to see it in public.
Is the rumor now that because I went to Ireland that I am myself Irish? I'm a quarter Irish, but people are saying things that make me think that in your chat. Not like that's a big deal either way, it's just like a strange thing to assume.
Impossible. Stop dissing the Irish. I'm not dissing the Irish. I'm dissing the appropriation we have of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, the cultural appropriation of things Irish is kind of silly. There's not a lot of real Irish culture in most things.
It's not very flattering. You shouldn't be flattered by what North America has taken from Irish culture. It's not meant as an insult towards Irish culture. It's just like, man, every March, whatever, people wearing green and like throwing up on the streets. You think, kind of gross.
The things that were in Dublin that were supposed to be like the touristy stuff were just the same shit you buy in the US.
What, like Magic the Gathering cards?
Yeah, exactly. It was green Magic the Gathering cards, all forests.
I feel like at some point you gotta do that though, right? Like, if you want to make a living, Like, if you're in Vancouver, you're gonna be selling a shirt that says, you know, "We love Vancouver" on it. Even if you're like, you know, I really want to be a brain surgeon. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I walk by, there's an area in Vancouver called Gastown, which is like super touristy, and they have like all the souvenir shops, and the shirts are all like, "I went to Vancouver and all I saw was this moose," and you're like, man,
Come
like,
on.
but you gotta do what you gotta do to make it, to make a living, right?
I just thought it was kind of funny because we went to about 100 different places that had touristy things going on in them, and they all had the same selection of goods.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like, they all had the same shot glasses, they all had the same little keychains, they all had the same little stopwatches and pocket watches, which were kind of odd in the first place to have.
I'm okay with it, though. Like, here's the thing, is, like, I feel about Halloween the way most people, I think, feel about St. Patrick's Day after, like, the age of 25. Where whenever Halloween rolls around, I'm just like, you know, some people have fun with it, and a lot of people just use it as an excuse to act like, you know, idiots. And also, if I don't have to go outside on Halloween, I'm going to avoid it, because, especially after, like, 9 p.m.
I hate that there was always this myth, and I don't know, maybe it's not a myth, but I always didn't think it was real, that, like, people will get your cat if you leave it out during Halloween. It's like, there's people fucking with cats.
I just
like, leave the cat alone.
I'm not blaming Halloween. I just think it's a day where, you know, some high school seniors are taking their first, you know, shot of peach schnapps, and then they're going, you know, it's the devil's heyday. What do we do today?
Smash pumpkins.
Yeah, I'd rather you smash pumpkins, if anything, but I think the thought was there was people doing, like, stupid witchcraft bullshit, and that for some reason the cats were things you needed to, like, mess with. I think if you knew anything about witchcraft, the cats are to be revered, not messed with.
Is that correct?
Leave the cat alone.
Yeah, you need Eye of Newt and Dead Man's Toe.
Yep, you get the eye and Newt. The Newts had it coming. The cats didn't do anything wrong.
That's very true.
The world is a vampire.
But if I could only completely end the celebration of one holiday, it would definitely be St. Patrick's Day.
No, it would be Independence Day in America.
I got nothing against it. I think every country should be allowed to celebrate its pride once per year.
Well, that would be my answer then.
You'd want to get rid of Independence Day.
Yeah.
You know, I can sort of see your point. Are you going to take this from the angle of, I really wish people would stop blowing their heads off with fireworks accidentally?
No, I'm going to take the angle of I really wish people would stop parking up and down my street to come see our town's stupid fireworks display.
Okay.
And then walking around in the street in the middle of the night with freaking dark clothing on, so I almost get in a car accident every single year.
Right. Walking around in autumn, acceptable. Walking around in July, unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
I've got it. How about
I'm
you?
glad we could put this together.
Malf, what holiday would you get rid of?
Probably Valentine's Day, honestly.
Okay, yeah. I think that's valid.
I just think, you know,
Too manufactured.
it's fairly manufactured, and it just like I think it damages a lot of people more than it benefits
helps,
people,
yeah.
right? It's like for some people, like, oh, Valentine's Day, let's go for a fancy meal, like roses, chocolate, anal, and then that's it.
And it's actually Eniel, the French restaurant on Bloor Street.
Let's be honest, the anal's not happening most of the time. It's usually the anti-anal day.
But I mean, if
What
it's
does
gonna
that
happen,
even mean?
that's like
It's
No,
the
no,
one day
don't
you're
let
probably
him,
not
don't,
likely to get the anal.
don't let him get out of this one. What is anti-anal?
I think it's the day you're not going to get any anal.
Why is that?
Because it's the day you're showing extra care for your companion.
no, you got it all wrong.
Really?
I think so.
I thought it was
think
like a
so.
severe muff diving day, not so much the other way around.
Basically,
You can,
Christmas,
you can
Thanksgiving, and
combine.
Valentine's Day.
You can order some dim sum, man. You can have a little of this, and you can have a little of that.
Oh, you dim some, you lose some.
dim some, you lose some. Yep.
I still think, out of all those, I think you've made compelling cases. I'd still rather just get rid of St. Patrick's Day. But if I could choose one, I'd get rid of 420 in Vancouver, which hopefully, when legalization happens, it just automatically goes away, and people are just like, you know, this is like celebrating like having a driver's license day or something like that.
No, you get more of them, I think.
But for now, like, if you're not partaking in the festivities, it's hell. You're like, I just want to. I'm taking the bus to my grandma's house. Can I like not smell like the High Times boardroom by the time I get there, please? So that's hell. But after that, St. Patrick's Day. And it's for exactly the same reason. It's like, you know, I hate taking the bus at like 2 p.m. and people are openly trying not to vomit in the aisles. And like, that's not a holiday for me.
Very noble. Chad doesn't like the way I phrased it, severe muff diving. Like, that's fair. I probably could have used a better word there.
Intense.
Why does NL hate fun? I got no problem. If you want to get drunk at 10 a.m. on a random weekday, that doesn't bother me at all. However,
you got the wrong guy. I hate the fun.
Yeah. Nick's the one who wants to end fun. I just want you to be able to handle your shit. And on St. Patrick's Day, there's a surprising degree of either over-imbibing or low enough tolerance that you shouldn't be partaking. This is like, you know, just fights and vomit is what they should call it. St. Patrick's Day is at least here, it's fights and vomit.
I'm trying to see somebody in their conference room being like, hey, you gonna come out to fights and vomit? Like, just quickly propositioning somebody for the
and if you don't celebrate it, maybe your month shakes out a little differently. But, you know, for me at least, December's always been like the month of Christmas. But Halloween has been picking up steam. In Canada, it's a little different, too, because we have Canadian Thanksgiving in October. We just call it Thanksgiving, unless we're trying to, you know, placate Americans. But I can't believe we didn't get any money out of this. But Halloween, it's a popular holiday. It is actually, like, my second least favorite holiday. My least favorite quote-unquote holiday is St. Patrick's Day, because people use it as an excuse to act like the worst possible versions of themselves. Let's throw this down. And it's not like, oh, NL doesn't like having fun. It's nothing like that. Grab this, and we're going to try this. Rather, did get a teleport card. I'm just a little scared. I'm not going to get it to pay out, but we probably are better on HP than I think we are. And we'll take this. You know, I like having fun, and in my youth, I did celebrate the odd St. Patrick's Day, and I celebrated accordingly. I'm not going to, you know, pull the wool over your eyes. But when I see, like... Oh, we had so much more HP. What bums me out is when I see, like, you know, 55-year-olds, and they're in a bar at, like, 10 a.m. celebrating St. Patrick's Day, and I'm like, I mean, maybe this is ignorant, but you could just, like, have a drink. You don't need to just wait for St. Patrick's Day and be like, oh, now it's okay to drink at 10 a.m. Like, it's never okay to drink at 10 a.m. probably, like, from a human body physiology standpoint, but, like... As long as you know that, you don't need to wait for, like, the one day where people can't judge you, I think. But maybe I'm missing out on it. Also, I kind of feel like if you were Irish, and maybe I'm just, you know, I'm protecting the feelings of people who don't need their feelings protected. They can, you know, stand up for themselves. But I would be pissed if, like, one day a year internationally, or at least in the U.S., was like, you know, St. Mountie Day. Pretend to be an RCMP agent. And then they just, like, put on a... you know, a fucking, you know, Canadian flag shirt. And it's on Americans Canada Day, everybody wears red and you drink Molson Canadian. And then I'd be like, yo, that's not what we're all about here. I think it, to some extent, perpetuates a negative stereotype of the culture. But, you know, that's really up to you. You know, if you live in Dublin or Belfast, you're probably getting, like, fat tourism dollars every St. Patrick's Day. You just kind of grin and bear it, and then you take their money and you know, spend it on whatever you want, I suppose. Hey, Josh, how was your weekend?
It was a good weekend. Oh, it was like your least favorite holiday this weekend.
It's St. Patrick's Day, my least favorite of all holidays ever.
You are a notorious hater for St. Patrick's Day.
It's not that
I remember that every year.
It's the day of do you have the time?
Had to listen to me wine.
More like to drink a lot of wine.
It's a green day. I get it. It was a good weekend. I had fun.
I have a feeling that you like St. Patrick's Day decently.
Do you drink green beer?
No, like, so I get less enthused for St. Patrick's Day.
That's the most, like, respected thing I've ever heard you say. Like, I finally, my respect for you is now above zero.
Hey!
If anybody went, as I get older, when you're over the age of, like, 25, St. Patrick's Day has more and more appeal to me, I'd be like, something's gone wrong.
Yeah.
So to hear you say that, I enjoy a lot.
Good. But then, like, are those boobs? No, those are something else.
Marshmallows.
Marshmallows. So we weren't even, like, gonna go out on St. Patty's Day. But, like, And I was like, we should go out. Let's not stay inside. Let's just go out and we'll have a good time.
Yeah.
And I convinced Kristen to do so because there's a bar that's like close by, so we just go there. And we actually had a really good time. And we invited some friends over. And we all just kind of hung out at the bar, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, did you have a good time with you and your mom? She's your only friend. Is the joke.
When you invite friends over, you mean you invited them to the bar?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you could use over that way. I thought over implies your house.
Yeah, like a domicile.
No, you can invite someone over or someone out, I guess would be the appropriate nomenclature.
Wow. This is just the lightest push was all it took in that situation.
Yeah.
Well, I want to clarify my hatred of St. Patrick's Day. Oh, that's my head.
Yeah, please. It just makes you look more like an idiot.
Well, that's kind of the aesthetic that I go for. If you act like not an asshole on St. Patrick's Day, I'm not mad at you. That's totally fine. If you go out and you have some drinks and then you don't throw up on the train or in a garbage can like on Main Street, by all means, have a good time and live your life. What annoys me is when it's the day where, like, when you go outside, you can't walk 2 steps without seeing some idiot going, woo, woo, over and over, and, like...
The drunk anthem.
Exactly. It's a day that, like, supports and promotes public drunkenness, which is fine if you can handle your shit, but if you're, like...
Some people cannot handle
Some people cannot handle their shit, and they should be shamed into not being, like, miscreants outside, even if it is 1 day a year.
There's a show called Renters that I've been watching on Netflix, and it deals with the New Zealand housing market, and it follows property managers who manage houses in New Zealand, and they have this big keg party that apparently happens once a year, and everyone knows about it, and like hundreds and hundreds of students run around and just go in everybody's houses and just destroy everything.
Yeah, that sounds
So the property
terrible.
managers get ready for that, and when they come in to inspect before and after. And as long as they haven't ripped all the doors off the hinges and there's nothing left of the apartment, they're thrilled with the students. They've done a great job.
That's ludicrous.
That is, I would be mad.
Me too.
I wouldn't be a landlord.
I'd
I'd be
put
a
up with it as much as they do.
Freaking bandlord. So that's why I hate St. Patrick's Day. And
because Australians.
Yeah, because of those Australian people from New Zealand that ruin the perfectly good equity of these houses. But mostly, I hate it when it's on a Saturday because everybody's off. So I got to admit, I just stayed inside on Saturday, and when I woke up on Sunday, I was like, it's over. Nothing to worry about.
Hooray!
We survived another year.
Yeah.
I like it because it reminds me of Ireland.
I did have
But I
a
don't do
question
anything.
sort of about that, though. Is like, for anybody in chat who's Irish, and I got to assume there's probably like dozens of you. How do you feel? Yeah, I know Lynn hates it. That's why I was like, we're like kindred spirits. I didn't even realize. But, okay, there we go. Just let me talk here while I have a second. How do you feel about St. Patrick's Day if you were Irish? Because I was thinking about what if Canada Day was celebrated worldwide, but the rub of it is that like half of the people are like, we love Canada, and the other half of the people is like, we love having a good excuse to get super drunk. And the conclusion I came to was I would be like simultaneously proud and like I would have complicated feelings. I'd be proud but a little ashamed that for some reason it's like that part of Canadian culture is what's being celebrated, but I don't know.
People just want to have a good time.
That's true. I don't have
It's
nothing
like
against
that
that.
Shania Twain song. People just want to have a good time.
Dude, my alma mater, you guys, Mouth particularly, will love this. My alma mater is in the news because there was a huge St. Patrick's Day party, and one of the kids gave an interview about it. Actually, like a lot of the kids gave an interview. All the interviews are bad. Yeah. But the first kid, they asked him the question that's like, he's decked out in full cultural appropriation Irish gear, right? Including the little tiny leprechaun hat. But they're like, hey, aren't you concerned that people will spread the disease? And he's like, yeah, you know, like for real, I know, like, you probably, like, and it takes him, like, 15 seconds to get his composure, and then he puts on, like, future prime minister voice and is like, well, if you're sick, you shouldn't be here. We understand it's a risk, and after you're out here, we would advise you to self-quarantine afterwards. And we're like, what are you're going to go to a St. Patrick's Day party and then go into isolation for 14 days? But then,
dude, it's like one last hurrah.
It's just playing the violins while the Titanic goes down. But then there was a girl who like butted into another interview, and she's like, I have a compromised immune system, and so I'm not worried about it because I just like take supplements. And everyone in the interview is like, what the fuck are you talking about? So that's my alma mater.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wait, that girl was from your old school?
That was from Queen's University, baby. Used to be one of Canada's top 3 universities, fallen on harder times over the past decade or so.
Did anyone tell all these St. Patrick's Day goers that the place where the St. Patrick's Day is from closed all their pubs literally yesterday? So if Ireland is closing their pubs, maybe you should fucking celebrate St. Patrick's Day with a bunch of people. Good lord, does anyone actually know if anyone in Australia can answer this? Did they close? Did they cancel the St. Patrick's Day parade there in Australia, in Sydney? I mean. Because my parents were going to go to that, and I told them, don't fucking go to that, please. And they were like, yeah, we probably won't.
Do they live in Australia?
No, they just flew there literally like 5 days ago.
What? Specifically for St. Patrick's?
They had a 1-month trip planned to visit my cousin. And I still told them, like, I know you guys have had this trip planned for literally months, and I know it's a month-long trip planned with like lots of flights and lots of things, but like, you really shouldn't go. But I don't know, like, it was a huge, it wasn't like it was some trip for like a couple days that they had planned a week ago. It's literally been in the plans forever, and I get it. Things weren't like as crazy as they are now when they left, but still, I was like, please don't go.
Yeah, my parents have like an air of superiority because they did go to Portugal, but they got back 2 weeks ago. And they're talking to me, and they're like, people who are traveling now are crazy. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh my God, that's such bullshit. I'm mad at you.
You really got him, Jane.
Wow.
You really got. But I'm like, yeah, I think that realistically, if they had to travel now, or if their travel had been planned for now, they probably would have canceled it. That's what I'm going to tell myself anyway. What do you think about people gathering for St. Patrick's Day? Don't even get me started. I'm already negative on St. Patrick's Day at all times. I'm telling you, if I see more than 5 tweets from bars on St. Patrick's Day that are like, hey, you only live once, I'm gonna lose my freaking mind, dude. What am I supposed to do? Not go to the pub? Stop the accent. No, this is a British person who lives in Vancouver, but lived in Sydney for a while. They just closed all restaurants in Chicago. So I don't know if that's true. I don't want to parrot that before I know whether or not it's actually 100% true. But, I mean, did you see the pictures at O'Hare yesterday? Like, no wonder they're closing the restaurants. They just had, 3,000 people standing in a terminal shoulder to shoulder. How was the Queen's cafeteria? So I don't know if you can find a story about this. I don't know if this is possible. But my favorite story about the Queen's cafeteria is on St. Patrick's Day 2007. We always went to the dining hall as soon as it opened, which was like 4:30. Because, you eat, you get there when it's not busy, you get fresh food. It's a very early dinner time, don't get me wrong. But, it was nice. So on St. Patrick's Day 2007, we went to eat at 4:30, and then at like 6, I looked out of my dorm window and was like, yo, why is the cafeteria closed? Hold on, I'm telling a story. Like, the lights were off, and I was like, this is really messed up, because this is like, people have got to eat. And then I found out the next day that people were so hammered They went into the cafeteria and started like a real food fight. And then the staff, who are completely justified here for the record, went, I don't get paid enough to deal with this shit. And they walked out. And then the kids, like the college students, went behind the counters and started cooking their own shit. They started frying their own chicken nuggets and stuff and like making their own pizzas. So they had to get campus security in and kick everybody out. I wasn't there. That's just what I heard.
Thou returns.
Oh, it's you again.
I am not unkind.
So I don't know if you can find like
Always, audience shall be thou.
I don't know if there's a news story about that,
Swearest
but
thou to serve me true.
I thought it was very funny.